Good morning. This is Robert Goodman here on YouTube, keeping it real with you. This is Positive Stroke Staying Clean, my recovery, the confessions of my recovery, the things I've learned about my recovery, the things that addiction has taught me. And I'm so happy that you have some time here to be a part of my recovery. And I hope that you be a part of my recovery by being here and sharing your strength and hopes in your posts and in your comments. Today, I want to talk about something that's real important. It's the 12th step. After having a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to addicts and to practice these principles in all our affairs. We try to carry the message and practice these principles in all our affairs. And that's a lot. I mean, when I completed my 12th step, it was like, where's my spiritual awakening? I'm supposed to have a spiritual awakening at the 12th step. What happened? But my spiritual awakening was early. It wasn't at the 12th step. My awakening was when I was in my early recovery, when I totally surrendered to recovery, that addiction won. I can't beat you. It's not going to work for Robert. You've destroyed your life for 40 years. My spiritual awakening was I realized my addiction conned me, duped me. I duped myself by putting my hopes and my dreams on a drug to get me through the trauma that I did not want to experience and the bad things that happened in my life. So I medicated myself and I did not work on solving the problem. That was my spiritual awakening. That all through my addiction, I conned myself. And by me putting my trust into a drug to relieve the pressure of the problem, it became my prison because it made me feel that this is the only way I can solve the problem. So I had my spiritual awakening before I got to the 12th step. That was my spiritual awakening that changed how I looked at recovery, how I looked at myself, how I looked at my past, how I looked at my failures. That I truly conned and duped myself to live in emotional and mental pain for things that happened to me in the past, to live rent-free in my head for 40 years, which caused me to constantly medicate myself so I would not feel that pain anymore. That was my spiritual awakening. That's when my purpose changed in recovery. That's when recovery came on the inside and rooted on the inside. But when I did the 12th step, when I completed the 12 steps the first time, I was happy, but there was no After having a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, I try to carry this message to Addison practice. I'm looking for this spiritual awakening. Then I completed the steps again. Then I pleaded them again. And then this time, when I completed it, something happened. I learned that in order for me to have recovery, to keep recovery, I must give it away. I must give the information that recovery has taught me, the information that addiction has taught me, the pain that it brought me. I must share this to others. And by me sharing this, it keeps my recovery alive and free within me. My recovery is free within me because I'm helping another person deal with the pains and stress, emotional and mental stress of addiction. Not only the physical part, but the mental part. The mental part is real important. We have to rebuild ourselves. We have to reinvent ourselves. We have to make ourselves different. We have to choose a different way of life. And how do we do that? Living one day at a time, dealing with one situation at a time, and it will lead us down to a path that we will definitely appreciate, and our lives will get better. And we will realize, I realized that the more I work on Robert, the better my life gets. The more I work on myself, the more I can see what's going on around me because I'm not clouded by things living rent-free in my head. See, I realize when there's too much stuff living rent-free in my head, then I can't pay attention to all this that's going on around me. I can't make a sound, good decision because I'm clouded by the past and situations that I did not solve or put any work in to make the situation better. But the program taught me one day at a time, one situation at a time, do all that you can and give it to a power greater than you to restore it. Because you've done everything that you can do. So it's out of your hands. And when I realized that, I wasn't carrying things in my head living rent-free anymore, which allowed me to see what's exactly going on in front of me, actually to see the truth of what's going on in front of me, that I'm not clouded by my emotions and feelings, because instead of me finding the truth out, I would act on my feelings and emotions because they would ramp up real fast, and I would go by that feelings and judge the situation in that manner, which would cause me to make a bad decision. So, the point that I want to make for today is, after having a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to Addison and practice these principles in all our affairs. We don't know when you're going to have a spiritual awakening. Nobody knows. It's when you work on your recovery and you come to that milestone within your own recovery. Sometimes it comes quickly, sometimes it comes slowly, but it always materializes if we work for it. So everybody's situation is different. If you haven't had a spiritual awakening after you finish the 12 step, it will come. Mine came before I did the 12 step. It changed my whole perspective. I felt so stupid that I duped myself. That paved the way for my recovery, because it let me know that, Robert, you had a lot to learn. You have a lot to learn about recovery and living life on life's terms. So you need to take the cotton out of your ears and put it in your mouth and listen and learn. And this is how it worked. And my recovery got better. I got better. I realized that I'm imperfect and I make mistakes. When I had my spiritual awakening, and it let me know that I duped myself for 40 years, the truth, my spiritual awakening was my truth, the facts, that I realized that I have to work on me. I had to work on Robert. In order for Robert to get better, in order for Robert's life to get better, he has to focus on himself. And being in recovery and working on myself, my life got better. And then the people around me, their lives got better because of our connection. I know that I'm imperfect. I know that you're imperfect. I know you're going to make mistakes. I know that I'm going to make mistakes. So I don't carry animosity and hurt living rent-free in my head. I learned a lot. And I realized that I can't carry things in my head because it will cloud my judgment and the way I perceive to look at things. And I'll look at them in the wrong way because what's living rent-free in my head is making me look at the truth in the wrong way, my truth in the wrong way. So when I don't have nothing living rent-free in my head, I can look at things more clearly and come up with a better solution to the situation. So after having a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message. We're carrying this message to other people to help those that are still suffering, to help those who are trying to find their way in recovery, to help the families to move forward in dealing with members of their loved ones trapped in addiction. We're all a family. We all have things that we have to deal with to make our lives better. So if we work together, it can get done. Together we can, by ourselves we cannot. Why? Because if I live rent-free in my own head, I'm going to lead myself right back down to the pipe. Because I got 40 years worth of experience of getting high, navigating through pain, and keeping a pipe in my mouth. So I have to be a part of something bigger than me. So I will stay focused on my recovery. I hope I shared some things about the 12th step to make you think. Remember, your story has the power to save someone's life. Share it. Because I've listened to so many people's stories, it moved me to stay focused on my recovery. And I know it will help others if you do the same. This is Robert Goodman wishing you a great and wonderful Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday, and I'll be back here tomorrow, Friday, 7:30 Arizona time. Positive Stroke, Staying Clean, talking about recovery. Today we was talking about the 12 step. After having a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to addicts and to practice these principles in all our affairs. I hope you do, and I hope you have a great and wonderful day.